Good morning, everyone.
Government employment report showing a gain of 216,000 new jobs last month. Futures were lower off that, yields higher, but actually that has unwound a little bit. You've seen the little bounce in the futures, and yields are off their highs as maybe the number is not quite as hot as the headline makes it seem. Joining us to talk markets is Brenda Vangello, Chief Investment Officer at Sandhill Global Advisors and a CNBC contributor. Brenda, good morning. So we came into this year, the market seemed pretty confident of a pretty idyllic soft landing scenario. How does this data feed into it, and what do you make of the market's rocky start to 2024?
Well, I do think, if we look at what this data and what it means, I think this continues to support a strong consumer, which in our view is really key to the economy maintaining its health as we move through the year. But I do think if we look at what happened during the fourth quarter of last year, it really was a stunning move across the board.
Good morning, Queen. Good morning. I see you're already up on the day. Congratulations.
Here as we move into the new year, but I still think that the fundamentals should be relatively healthy if we look at earnings growth for this year. If we continue to have a strong economy, we have inflation that's easing. We also have an environment, I think,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
If you were a corporate CEO managing your business over the last couple of years, thinking there might be a recession just 6 months down the road, you're going to think about the world differently than if you suddenly think, well, actually, hey, maybe this may not be coming to fruition. We may actually have a decent economy here and potentially think about spending in a different way.
Yeah, and for context, this little 2-3% decline is
buddy.
the S&P back to where it was 3 weeks ago, right as the Fed gave its decision in December. So it hasn't retraced that much of the rally. Where within the market looks interesting to you, whether it be the big tech stocks that led last year or something else?
We think that more of the small mid-cap area.
Did you book some profits, or are you still holding your shorts?
Those large cap tech names, still important to have some exposure, but we wouldn't be overexposed here. They absolutely
for today, possibly a long. Again, like yesterday.
Valuations not looking as attractive. Also, those are more multinational.
I was kind of hoping that the NFP data would have caused NQ to drop to head down to that gap fill, but apparently it didn't. So I'm thinking it's going to be next week CPI.
Even after the run that they had during the fourth quarter.
Yeah, certainly more room to catch up on a multi-year basis. Brenda, running up against the end of the hour. Appreciate the time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, a final check on the markets right now. You're going to see that the Dow futures are up by about 65 points. NASDAQ futures up by 51. Are down by. S&P futures down by 10. We had seen some even bigger declines right after the numbers, but things are coming back to where they were just
I like that.
Anyway, I want to thank both Mike and Steve for being with me today.
I like
all week too.
Fun week, yeah.
It has been fun.
Pleasure.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week. Right now, it's time for Squawk on the Street.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Kingston here with Jim Cramer at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. David Faber has the morning off. Stocks do look to open a bit lower on the back of a firm December jobs read. 216, the highest print since September. Wages run a tad hot. 10-year touches 410 before backing off. That's where our roadmap begins. The blowout jobs report. U.S. payrolls up 216,000 in December, better than expected. The
awesome did buy opportunity once we got to the 60.
Continue to monitor developments in the Red Sea as shipping giant Maersk diverts its vessels away from that area now for the foreseeable future. Let's begin.
Nice, awesome. Oh, so you chilling today.
But some revisions, household surveys getting some eyeballs.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. That's the story. The revisions offset what you're seeing. That's why the interest rates immediately jumped up and then they backed off a little. I think it's interesting. Government, 52,000. That was a big delta. Healthcare has just been strong, 38,000. But we have construction that's up a little bit. And then leisure and hospitality, which have been red hot post-COVID, is unchanged. Retail is okay. And then I find that average hourly earnings, pretty much the same. This is not nearly as negative as when it first heard. Negative meaning interest rates shoot up.
Right.
I think when people pull apart the numbers, they say that's a little too hot, but let's take off the 6 rate cuts. Let's go back to the rate cuts.
Right. Maybe LFPR is the most concerning. Why would we have participation drop by the most since January of 21?
I don't know. Sometimes you look at these numbers, you say, okay, look, I gotta learn more about it. I don't want to call it.
Congrats.
I was surprised at that.
Yeah.
Surprised. Look, I think, Carl, in the end, there was just this camp which just said it's going to be really weak, and then there was this camp which said it's going to be weak. But there wasn't a camp which just said it's going to be okay. And so the okay camp is now scrambling to sell Mag 7. Sell Mag 7. I mean, it really is like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the okay camp just says, wow, I can't stay in the Mag 7. I better go into there was a great piece of sport that removed from the journalists. Like, the amount of money going into cash is extraordinary because cash is extraordinary. You get like 5. You can make a lot of money with 5. Worry, of course, if they cut rates immediately, but they're not going to.
The flow data today is interesting. B of A, biggest purchase of
So
money
let's see.
market
So
funds
if I
since
was to
November,
take a long,
57 billion.
where would I
Right.
possibly be
A
targeting?
little in stocks, a little more in bonds.
Probably
Which
I would
again,
say
that's just Mag 7
520,
sell, buy rest.
possibly.
So you think the jobs print is a push, more so to speak?
We could possibly go and retest that
I think that what we're gonna do is get
569 area.
cuts, which is good because that's not Pal's camp. I don't know
Good
whose
morning,
camp that
good morning.
was.
Oh,
the
she
wishful thinking
pushing.
Ken wishful thinking
Yes.
camp, and those people, they should just go somewhere else. They should do some other game. I mean, they really shouldn't. I mean, you
Bruh.
got to deal with reality. The economy's not that bad, and
Ah,
the
she
only thing
going.
that happened is we got rid of higher for longer. Then we had the job plot. I mean, it's like, geez, we had these jolts, and it is. I find this up tiresome because all they're really saying is, look, if it's weaker, we're going to cut, but we don't want to cut too fast because that's the big mistake you can make.
36 months of job growth.
Right.
I think 20 plus of sub 4% unemployment as we stay at 3.7. Yeah, I mean, it's 2.7 million jobs added in the full year.
It's just it's a great
Pretty
economy,
nice.
and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a great economy, and only the people who thought that it was a super weak economy are surprised today. But they are surprised, and I just think that it's not in a decel mode. We're not in deceleration mode. We're just in a but that's from a very good level.
Pop.
I wish
Russell's
sometimes
popping.
I wish we didn't do what we do, which is talk about stocks, because this is a sign of an economy that's the best in the world. We're the best in the world. We have less inflation. We have more job growth. But we're not. We're in the stock business, and in the stock business, you don't want you sell Apple.
Yeah. Well, the tape never ends, Jim. And we got to talk about it as it runs. We are going to get CPI. We're going to get CPI next week, though, and given the
Yeah,
Eurozone
CPI
inflation
next
today,
week is what might
there
do
will
it.
be some hand wringing about sort of month-to-month rebounds and year-on-year rates.
Awesome. What level? What level? Queen, post the chart. Post the chart.
We have very strong online market. So the Amazon
Oh my
numbers.
gosh.
I know.
30% of all orders in the final days of the season.
It's funny. It came out, and I was joking around with my step. I said, "Oh, 30%. How much will Amazon be down?" I thought it would only be down 2. It was like down 3.5. This market hates those stocks. So maybe today you get a rebound because people are starting to figure it out. But just be careful. The market likes people like new names. They like the industrials. They like Howmet, which is how I met my mother. It's an aerospace play. We've been using that joke. I really love it. It works every time I say it. But this is just a strong economy. And if we had the labor secretary on, they'd be crowing.
Careful with that short. This thing's looking like it's gonna pull.
Hey, very smart, good person. That's good.
To Jim's point, though, major indices are on track to snap this 9-week win streak. The decline led, of course, by the tough start to 24 for tech. NASDAQ coming off 5 days of losses. That is the longest losing streak since October of 22, and to a large degree, Jim, driven by those names like Amazon.
I know, when we sold some at the beginning.
Catching some is better than catching none, Doc.
I'm no genius. I just like these stocks were up a lot, and I know I see some people who were on this morning, and they're just saying the same thing over and over, which is that they waited to the end of the year. They wanted to show that they own this, and then they can start selling, and that's pretty much selling.
All right,
getting
so
cash.
see what
No
kind of
sources
retracement
funds,
we
and nothing
get.
changed. The only thing that I did see, Morgan Stanley's the best on Apple. They finally came out today, and they said App Store outperformed growth 10%. That people were looking for 8 and change, and that's a narrative that no one's talking about, which is that the App Store is good. That's service revenue. So let's note the fact that we had Foxconn come out, say things a little weaker. So we had the ability to loop capital negative on Apple, but Apple's been the battleground. We're talking about Apple being smaller than Microsoft. I mean, these are,
She is
Will
going.
Chamberlain being smaller than Bull. I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's just understand these are great companies, and
If we get a pullback down to 16,400, I'm gonna take a long.
They say, look, we've been telling you the demand squeeze is on the iPhone cycle. We're not backing off. There's a Huawei effect in China, Jim, that they think the build's gonna be light in the first half.
Yeah, and look, China. Look, I keep thinking when Yiddish was here, and I said, couldn't they just do a resolution trust money over there? And she said, no, Jim, you understand? It might be like a $4, $5, $6 trillion problem that they really have. And then, of course, we have an alpha today. It's like, they say it's like Zhangzi files for bankruptcy, $3 trillion shadow bank, and it's a $36 billion hole. $36 billion. I mean, when we had in 2010, 2009, we had banking crisis. You didn't hear those numbers. I mean, this thing. Here's a bank you don't know that it is $36 billion in the hole. I mean, who knows what's going on in China?
Let's take a
They're not
look
buying
at
expensive
gold.
cosmetics.
Do you think CES next week is going to give us a read on the consumer through the lens of tech?
I always think it does, and I think that
Yes, I'm talking about a long on NQ on the pullback. I want to try to get in at 16,400.
So you're worried selling too much Max 7 at this point?
I think that the Mag 7 is going to start breaking, and then I think that because I don't know how much the year efficiency is for Zuckerberg, but if they get the meta part right, then people are going to be saying, "Wow, they got TikTok their reels is good, Instagram's doing well." By the way, the Ray-Bans are just a pound of Instagram.
Watch this level, guys. I'm not convinced we're
And that's not an expensive
breaking
stock, so
it.
I think that
Let's
we're going to
see.
start. I wouldn't say Mag 7 go down because there's so many ETFs. I think we're going to start seeing a bifurcation of the ones that are
So I'm only gonna go in one contract
Microsoft cheap.
and leave room to add if we do a pullback down to 370s area.
I think it is the best value. It's also, by the way, it's not a trillion. It's got that edge. But I just think it has this division that everyone's written off. And people aren't paying attention to what the divisions are doing.
Meantime, NVIDIA, I mean, the top pick lists continue to roll.
Stop it already. I started NVIDIA when it was like, 7 cents. I mean, my dog after my dog flakes. These are my NVIDIA. This is NVIDIA, okay? I put, we have the camera. We don't have handheld or anything here. But this is my
AMD's
NVIDIA company.
the tech sectors are looking pretty bullish pre-market. Nvidia's looking good for a continuation up. AMD is almost up a point pre-market. Apple is curving. Meta is curving. So NQ, we're looking for a movement up today. That's my personal opinion.
You don't look askew with these top pick.
Yeah.
NVIDIA's great, though. I mean, every day someone comes out and says, I like NVIDIA. Where have you been? What did you not like it? I liked it when I found out that the Alley was all NVIDIA chips, and that was 2012.
Just
In
a
addition
minute.
to next week with CES, you're going to be at the JP Morgan Healthcare
Man,
Conference.
that is talk about GM people. There's a panel about whether people who's going to pay for it, are they going to pay for it? I do think that there was someone out this morning talking about the FDA making cautionary comments about when a drug is going to be in the largest drug in history, they're going to really analyze it. I'm getting African candidate, but I still think it's the best healthcare. You still make more money off glue than it is from T-Pop.
Do you think that's possible?
I don't know. When he says $1 trillion, I don't know his position. Who comes out and says something's $1 trillion when it's $250 billion?
Now, we mentioned the Lilly Direct news yesterday. Today, CVS has some guidance, reiterating some 24 gap diluted guide.
Which I thought was good because I have apparently. I think I want these all out because when I was there, last time I was there, there was a jaw-dropping CEO just announced on our show that he missed the number, and he wasn't prepared, didn't have the number. He said, I missed the number, I feel really awful, what's the number? We're going to have David Briggs on Monday for our show, and that's not going to be like that. I think Karen Lynch is doing a remarkable job. It's remarkable, and I can't wait to speak to her.
One thing we got sort of from some analysts yesterday, looking ahead to the conference, is that some don't expect M&A to be as big a part of the conversation there as in prior years.
And I think that's completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah, because almost every company has a patent cliff. You know what Bristol Myers did? Well, 3 companies, right? They have this bad patent cliff, and they can solve the patent cliff by actually buying companies. That's what Pfizer did. Merck bought this Prometheus. People don't talk about it. It's an irritable bowel. I think it's terrific. I think Rob Davis is doing a terrific job. Bristol Myers might be turning here.
Lovely.
It might be turning. I mean, they bought a lot of companies. And remember, a lot of these companies, a good piece in the FT today about how venture capital is having trouble raising money. A lot of these biotechs were out of money or they couldn't raise enough money. And you've got companies that are doing really aggressive things in neuro. Like Bristol's going after neuro. And I was the spokesperson for the American Brain Foundation. You go after neuro at your own risk because no one really, we're just starting to realize what's in the brain. Vagus nerve, really key. I'm not kidding. The vagus nerve. The first time I went to see a migraine doctor, he said, "What's your vagus nerve?" And then I went, I said, "I have a tinnitus problem." So that's your vagus nerve. I said, "What the hell is this vagus nerve?" Like, Jim, look at the map. Get the triptych out. There's a AAA map. People know the brain a little better than they used to.
Right.
I'm not kidding. Brain is really the next frontier.
That's interesting. Yeah,
It's
we'll
the next
watch
frontier.
the pace of innovation in medical
Oh,
sciences.
why don't people realize? I mean, geez, you got to go to your doctor. The pharma is well ahead of the doctors. I was speaking to someone in pharma the other day. I said, do the doctors know about this great drug? I said, not yet. I said, oh,
That's where
run some NFL ads.
that's where the marketing and the free pens comes in.
Yes, and they got to run in on Peacock with the wild card game, you know?
Not in the fourth quarter, though.
No, not the fourth quarter. It's fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
What Deadly Fits?
When we come back, Red Sea concerns, the attacks, the impact on oil. You'll hear what Chevron's chief had to say about some of these geopolitical risks, in addition to what McDonald's said in that blog post yesterday.
Yeah, was that crazy talk?
Some weakness in the pre-market, but not as pronounced as earlier, as the jobs print gets a second look. More Squawk in the Street straight ahead.
Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, my good sir. All right. Ooh. Nas is looking even better and better by the minute. Mr. Nice did buy on the Russell. Can we get that 4 buy? I don't know, bruh. Loving the movements though. Loving this movement. Come on, just give us that 400. I don't want to chase, but I might have to modify it to get in at like 410. Scale in. Feel like she about to leave the train without me. Bruh. Gone. She going. Up. She pushing. There she goes, ladies and gentlemen. There she goes.
5. We're very close to the Russia-Ukraine conflict with our Kazakhstan business. We also are the primary supplier of natural gas in Israel and have offshore platforms that have been shut down during the conflict. We've had ships that have been attacked by the Iranian Navy for the last few months in the Straits of Hormuz. We've got ships in transit through the Red Sea that we work very closely with the U.S. Navy and other military forces.
Just need a little pullback at the open. Just a little pullback.
Around the world in our industries, we face these kinds of risks.
And Chevron's Mike Wirth last night on Last Call talking about the geopolitical risks facing oil and gas producers, including Houthi rebel attacks on ships in the Red Sea. Numbers from one cargo booking platform highlight the impact. Spot container rates for shipping goods from Asia to Northern Europe now have soared 173% since mid-December. Meantime, the IMF says Suez traffic is down 28% in the last 10 days. You got Maersk, Jim, now, as we said earlier, going back to diversions. This is starting to show up. IKEA, A&F, talking about delays.
So, I mean, I thought that Mike Wirth's view is he's gospel, and it's obvious that this market's in incredible turmoil. We had those EOG comments. I'm going to go back to for a second. Good company saying there's going to be a decline in growth. Remember, it's not a decline. In growth.
Nice.
US.
Yes, come on.
That, but I
Come a little bit lower. A little bit lower, please.
But in all this, why isn't oil at 80?
Come on.
I mean, the market seems to be taking this stuff in stride for the moment. It's really interesting. Like Mike Wirth is basically talking about almost everything being suspect, and yet they're still.
Yeah.
We need just a little bit
as far as
more.
container rates, Journal a great piece today about how some of the
Come on,
shippers,
bro.
their stocks are doing well because of these surcharges.
Right.
But you got
See
so
what
much
you're looking at,
capacity
my
coming
guy.
online this year. 11%
Nice,
of the current fleet.
level.
It's going to offset some of that.
Well, that's why I
Yup,
was going
yup.
back and forth yesterday
I
with
like it.
Herb Hansen for a Nordic American tanker. That should be the big winner. The stock's at 4. It's been at 4. I mean, it's not doing anything. And I was saying, look, Herb Jordan, I know that you're supposed to
Yep,
be the way to
I see
play
that
this,
too.
but it's not moving. He's obviously just saying, just wait. He talks as his book. I don't have a book. But again, no one's making any money off this stuff. It's just, we're just watching the geopolitical tension. Typically, geopolitical tension should mean something. But this is not 1973. It's 2024.
Right. We do have Blinken going back to the Middle East, his 4th trip there since the October 7th attacks. Then you have sort of the larger, almost rhetorical battle against American companies, which is what McDonald's talked about yesterday.
Right, and I think we have to remember that as franchises, I'll tell you, it's so difficult. My chapter trust on Starbucks, and Starbucks doesn't have any stores in Israel, but is viewed as there was a TikTok post.
Yeah, I think the gap at this moment, I think the gap is going to get filled next week for the CPI.
So it's just, you're buying from someone who's the strident militant Palestinian faction doesn't want to buy from it. It was not true, and so therefore I don't want to dignify it. But what does matter is that some of the stores had bad numbers, and now people will hear what I just said and they'll say, "Oh my God, that's all I care about." But as you said, the tape never stops. I'm not here to opine on what should happen. I'm here to opine on what did happen and the impact on the quarter. And it could be significant.
Here's what Chris Kamchinsky said. Associated misinformation affecting brands like McDonald's, disheartening and ill-founded. Separately, I mean, Oppie does cut McDonald's today to market perform. That's largely about they think comps are going to be in line this year, pricing benefits start to fade.
I find that when you to understand a stock like McDonald's, you just have to look at the chart.
Excuse
And you
me.
can see that the chart says, well, that's an unbelievable move. And that's a reverse, it's reverse head and shoulders. So ultimately it's going to be okay. But right now, like a lot of companies did really well, they're saying, listen, the valuation's peaking. I say you sell that stock at your own risk. That's just a really great company. And when it rolls over, you buy it. And that's what you do. And look, if you really want to avoid all that, just go buy Chipotle. Because that stock, Chipotle and Lululemon are combined. And it's like, hey, we're on a sale. You can't sell us. We're like, great. Chipotle,
Really not trying to give it to us. Come on.
growth stocks that people just simply say buy. And I feel the same way about McDonald's, but it's obviously these are Chipotle's, I read the other day there was I looked at Dylan Reebok, who works with me, showed me all
And I
the
think
grades
for
and
the
all the Chipotle's
Asian
have in the
high
city.
is 47.36
I mean,
on
every
ES, and I
close the
think
store.
ES
It's
is
not
gonna
an egg.
break
By the way,
that.
don't look at Kava because you might want to sell Kava.
I don't want to chase right
Interesting.
here.
Don't look at Kava. You'll say, wow, man.
We'll cover some more restaurants. There are a bunch of calls in the space this morning, including Yum and QSR.
Yeah, someone downgraded. Yeah, what is it? Oh, we also had an upgrade. We have face off.
Yes. We'll get Kramer's Mad Dash countdown to the opening bell. Busy Friday in light of the jobs number. More Squawk on the Street in a minute.
All right, 7 minutes to go till the fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. Looking good for upside. Yep. Massive fail breakdown on that data report. Let's see. Today I'm looking for some longs. I really want to buy at 16,400, but may have to chase this a bit. So it might only pull down to 412 or 410. So if it does come to that area, I will take a long. Massive rejection on the 1 hour, creating a really solid wick. I'm mad. I should have definitely gotten in at 400. This year. And I'm setting a buy limit on ES at 47.21. See if that gets filled. So I'm looking for a pullback. Exit. I want macros. Okay. Locked in a quick 30 points. Nice. Left quite a bit on the table though. Why did you get out for only 30 points?
Take a look at a 1 month of the 10-year. You might remember a couple of weeks ago, got down to 379, let's say, on a close. We got to 410 this morning. That's the best since December 13th, but now backing off to Jim's point as people take a closer look at the internals of this jobs number. We'll get the opening bell in about 5 minutes. And don't forget, you can catch us anytime, anywhere. Just listen to and follow the Squawk on the Street Opening Bell podcast.
All right, 3 minutes to go. Get it. Man, she's gonna go. Ladies and gentlemen, I may have to set my buy. I'm moving the buy limit to 430. Small, one contract. I'll leave room to add. Come on, bro. Could have been done already. Come on. We're going to go so much higher. We're probably going to go back up to the 500. Damn. It's like, stop the madness. Yeah, tech sector's looking real strong this morning. Nvidia, AMD, Apple, Meta. Come on, bro. Don't be a top. Feel me? Give me 430. So I've moved my buy limit to 430. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Modified at the 23s. It's fine. Bro, I do not want to chase the breakout. But it'll be really positive if this 15-minute candle can close above the prior daily low, which it looks like it might. 2 minutes to go.
Let's get Kramer's man dash. Countdown to the opening bell.
Don't look like I'm going to get the ES 4721.
I cannot believe how strong beer is.
Bruh.
Their particular beers are doing
Stop
amazing, much better than we have actually at Bud today. But if you want to kill it, you want to buy Modelo Especial. However, people are just wine and spirits not going there. I continue to believe that the most challenged category in this year of 2024 will be the browns and the clears of hard liquor. People don't want a gin, they don't want vodka, they don't want whiskey. People have to start understanding that bourbon sales are going to be down, and also they've got some good wines, but it's a tale too. They're going to have to get rid of spirits. I'm going to propose that to Bill Newlands tonight.
Give a little pullback. Give a little pullback. 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Elliot is in there, and I'm sure that they
All
feel the
right.
same way.
46.
I just don't know if there's a buyer. The man who ran that division kind of mysteriously left, and Bill took it over yesterday. But it is incredible. This has nothing to do with them. This is it's only going to get worse for GLP because the taste of whiskey is uniquely like water. They tell me, but
If you're on GLPs.
yeah, it's like
Give
whiskey.
me 30.
Water,
Remember years ago when the Fortune cover was "Are we in a
Come
bourbon
on, you're
bubble?"
almost there. Stop.
You say it's the opposite of
Tesla's over
Banks
36.
that got caught with barrel futures.
Bro.
They're like too long barrels.
Damn,
But
B.
there is, I think people are under. Plus, the Chinese are not buying the very expensive.
Oh yes.
Forget
course.
it. I mean, don't.
Well, you and I talked the other day about the potential impact of cannabis on alcohol sales.
Bro.
And now the rumors this week of all this DEA rescheduling.
No, I mean, can't now. Of course, Constellation Brands don't speak technically. Do not buy cannabis. There's nothing there. I think there's nothing there, but they're still right. But I don't want to recommend anything having to do with cannabis.
Come on, bro.
Speaking of beer, at the big board today, it's the Professional Bull Riders and Anheuser celebrating the partnership of the sports competition at MSG this weekend.
Who would have thought?
It's XBP
Taking the
Aerobase,
chase.
technology company celebrating recent listing via SPAC.
What a pincer moving by Bud, is Professional Bull Riders. That's PBR, my favorite brand. Get a PBR at the River Grill.
But
Wow.
I assume you mentioned the Modelo. That's the swing factor in this beer, guys.
Look at this. We're talking about 11.
Come on.
We're talking about numbers for the beer. Beer is not being affected. Modelo Especial grew 12%.
Damn. Look at the video. Look at AMD. Go Meta.
Doing great, which is why you think the stock
Freaker.
missed on the earnings per share would be down 10%. But no, because beer's great, and if they do, we'll talk to Bill about it, find some buyer for their mid-length. Actually, by the way, they have Casa Noble, which is a really fabulous tequila, and that's doing well. They should keep that. The tequila growth is 11%. The mezcal growth is 22% in the category. But forget it when it comes to wine is really slowing, but hard liquor. They're out west, which is a very good
Right,
brand.
delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, we managed to open
Gone,
basically higher on the S&P.
gone.
Not by
She's
much.
Everyone's kind of fed
freaking
up with
gone,
simple.
man. Ah, without
Calling it
us.
early, 9:31. There's like
Without
crosscurrents.
us.
We had a good
Oh,
fight,
come
2 days
on,
ago,
then,
last 8
Q.
minutes. Wow,
You
wow.
gotta leave
There's
without
just
me.
sellers, I think,
Oh,
who just have been
Jacobs.
waiting, and any lift, they want to sell the Mag 7. And I just say, look, guys, if things don't go down a straight line, this is a bad week.
Come on.
There's a lot of people who are short those probably, and they can bounce. Remember my cufflinks, NVIDIA, that's a good luck. We used to do that on the trading desk. Put rally caps on and do all this silly stuff. Kind of
Okay.
like when I wore my
We've
safety
gotten
shirt
above
every day to
yesterday's
the Eagles
Asian
and won the
high.
Super Bowl, and I told Tammy Reed
There was
that
a
the reason we
beautiful
did
long hair
was
at the
because of my
40.
Reed shirt. She goes, you don't think Andy
Retest
Reid did?
of yesterday's
All right, maybe
low
so. It's like there's a
of
lot
the day.
superstition on the trading desk. But I do think that what's
She's
happening
gone.
is that stocks just don't go straight down. They just don't go straight down.
She
I mean,
said,
Apple,
adios,
every day,
muchachos.
Capital's a little late to the game of the
Au
negativity,
revoir.
given the fact that the Morgan Stanley call is a very powerful call on the App Store, which everyone has dumped on the App Store, and it versus the Foxconn, which is a negative story. So, look, accept the fact that stocks don't go straight down. That's all I'm saying.
There's some impressive action in some semis. AMD is the second biggest S&P-er.
I pushed AMD pretty hard last night because I think AMD
Gone,
really surprised me
gone.
with the forecast. And remember, I did this PC refresh thing with the Microsoft button.
Yes.
It was so clear that everyone had me on mute. They're like, "Oh, mute him." He says PC refresh, but I think there will be a PC refresh.
We'll watch for some of the impact on some of those names.
Baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was going to say Costco, December comps. Not just the comp, Jim, but discretionary non-food with a nice 4%.
Wasn't that something? Rich Galanti is the CFO, who's just remarkable. Has a little quote about gold today. I bought my gold from Costco.
At Costco.
Yeah, well, like they finally came up. You finally could get some yesterday online. Of course, like you shouldn't say, but they sold 100 million in gold. You can buy it. There was no
Russell
article
2000 pushing hard.
The fact that there's no premium if you're like I'm an executive card member, okay, and I have the Visa, and I don't understand why everyone doesn't. I mean, if Carrefour banning Pepsi, well, why don't you go to Costco and you see real prices? Costco's real prices.
Oh my
Do you
goodness.
think, to help viewers understand, and yesterday we talked about AXP being a shelter from the worst of the household balance sheet situation. Is that the same thing rhymes with Costco?
I think so. I mean,
Higher income shopper?
Costco's always legendary by count the Beamers and count the Mercedes and the lots.
Membership fees.
Yeah, but it is this. It's an amazing bargain. Remember, they make it. They're doing a special dividend, but the way they make their money is off the car. They want volume.
Wow.
And I think people keep misunderstanding. They want you to go there and beat them, so to speak. I remember when Jim Sinegal came in and I talked to Jim Sinegal when he opened the store in Harlem, and he said, "Listen, you probably want to go and we've got some Zania stuff over there." And I said, "I'm wearing Zania." He goes, "We had that thing for so much last year. Like, I went over, I bought some Costco ties. I wore them for weeks." Mary Duffy, who's our major domo, didn't even know I was wearing a Costco tie. Ha ha!
Senegal was one of the best.
Oh my God, Jelinek. Now I got a new guy. I got to tell you that there is something to be said for if you want to look at Costco, you get the economy, sundries, food, and cooler were the strongest departments. Fresh foods were up high single digit. Better performing departments include bakery and produce. Well, isn't that where we're really being hurt? At the supermarket. You want revenge, they have lower prices. I think people should just stop complaining, go to Costco.
Right.
Okay? Just stop complaining, go to Costco.
To tie it back to the jobs number today, where you got wages up 4.1.
See how much of a
inflation's 3.1.
pullback we're gonna
So
get.
you're in a bit of a sweet spot on the
I
consumer
think we
right now.
could go
That's
to
why I say I don't want
520s.
to get negative because these are the numbers
Let's
I want a
see.
really good economy without that much inflation. And Jay Powell's done a great job, and I think that it's not perfect for the stock market. But if you're worried about a recession, that's a mistake.
Yeah. The tape right now would definitely back that up, given the fact that Delta, Carnival on an upgrade today over
Wasn't
at Wells.
that interesting? Although it was a shuffle because Norwegian Cruise downgraded, and I thought that was just gratuitous. They're doing well. Royal's doing the best, by the way. If people want to play that group, but I know that travel is still back. It's still a
Marvelous.
great still works, and that's
Wow,
moving
look at that. Going. It's going for that 500. Going for that 500, ladies and gentlemen. Told y'all, tech sector was looking super bullish this morning. They said, we are alive and kicking, baby.
Right? Isn't that terrific? Nike's not doing well. They get it. I do look. If you
Who
want
is
one of the
in
ones
these
that is, I
loans
think,
with me?
undervalued, that people are saying, realize
Had a
it's
little
good, it's not
chase at
okay.
the
You gotta focus on
450s.
Domino's, because Russell Weiner's got that thing humming again, and that is, I think, if you want to be in that that restaurant story, it's that one. You also, by the way, it's a great bargain.
I was going to say, because we got yet another cut of pizza today.
I know, they're really not
at
that
Oppie,
one.
and we talked about another one yesterday. Is the Papa John's Domino's share shift? Do you think that's going on? Hard to say.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
think it is. Papa John's only has 6 ingredients. I like their pizza too, but I'm a total Domino's guy. I mean, by the way, Domino's, Russell has reinstituted getting more and more technology again. You kind of want to do that. But I just like the way his attitude. He's really starting to get the franchisees moving. That's who drives that one. So I like that. That's my favorite of the group.
Netflix, interesting piece in the Journal this morning about gaming, looking for ways to make money and what they're calling a possible pivot, in-game purchases, ads, charging extra for games.
Did you see the number of downloads? It was like 4 times what it was the year before. I think that they're absolutely right to do it. It's a very forward-looking company, and I think that they've got, by this time next year, they're going to certainly worth monetizing.
Right.
Look, nothing's changed. You go to, people say you're over. We have too many streamings. Well, if that's the case, why is Netflix doing so well?
Right. Although
And by the way, Apple Plus.
I feel like we haven't tended the garden much on media this week, given how much conversation there was about Paramount, about Peltz and Disney
Well,
earlier.
you ever right about that?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened to that stuff? Disney apparently another couple of bad movies. I mean, Disney is. I think Nelson Peltz gets ammo every day. I think Ike Perlmutter, who built Marvel, has to be unhappy, given the fact he's a huge shareholder, and the stock does nothing. That is not going to endure. I know that they have new people, and I respect the new people, but I do think that when you have a stock with a total shareholder return that is so bad, it does invite people who want to get on the board and who have shaken up other companies, and it tends to work. I know that's very contrary to what people think.
Yeah. Software, a couple of moves. Jeffries, I'm sorry, no, it's Snow.
No.
RBC, initiate, outperform 230. And then this downgraded Palantir over at Jeffries. They go to underperform, down to 13.
I know. Last quarter wasn't bad. But that was their only negative. They just love all that high multiple stuff. Oh, my God. They love Monday.com, HubSpot. I finally saw an ad for HubSpot. Bill.com. It's incredibly expensive. They want those enterprise software stocks. They never stop. ServiceNow, 650 goes to 775. A must-own for a growth stock. I happen to like ServiceNow, but let's just understand each other. These are the stocks that get sold when interest rates go higher. They get sold.
This is just a little
until they're
pullback.
quarters, and they're good because
Just
that's
a
what
little pullback.
people want to buy Ingersoll Rand. They want tool and die. It's okay.
Right. EMR.
Yeah. I don't really like EMR, but they like it right now. They, meaning the institutional money managers who want to be in stuff.
They're just
I happen to like the stock of Honeywell. They made a really good acquisition from Carrier. Like Carrier, they made a really good sale of Honeywell. I mean, these companies can do no wrong, and their multiples aren't
There you
that
go.
high. Versus
There you go.
Bill.com. I mean, come on. Monday.com. They're expensive. I saw another positive comment about Salesforce. I've owned Salesforce, my Travel Trust, since my Travel started. I'm not pounding the table 30 times earnings. I'm not. I probably is hoping to see him next week, but I don't know. He's not around. But look at Micron. They upgraded Micron. There were several positive pieces about Micron, and all that happens at the end of the day is down.
Yeah. One of the
Keep
laggards
it going for us.
Speaking of quarters,
Give us
a week
that
from today,
520.
We're going to start getting the banks. We'll talk about credit quality and funding costs and deposit flows. We always talk about going into the quarter hot or cold.
JP Morgan looks like Nvidia after the May quarter. I mean, look at JP Morgan. I mean, that is not, now it still sells only at 10 times earnings. But what pressure? Now, of course, they'll say, Jim, we're under no pressure at all other than from you, so why don't you stop? No. How's their show doing? I don't know. What time is the JP Morgan show on? Is Jamie, is he what? He's on the 10? No. I mean, I get to talk. He doesn't. It's Jamie Dimon. He's the CEO. He does a really good job. But that chart is the stock of a red hot 7 meets AI. No.
You're not saying,
it's a bank.
You're not saying it's overdone, are you?
No, I'm just saying, I wish it were coming in so high.
I still have my buy limit at the 30 area, but I am in one contract from the 50s.
The stock's been good, but you know, the stock is still down substantially from where it was in 2018. I prefer that. Way down from 2018.
Sort of in that space, in the fintech space. Yet another downgrade today for PayPal as BTIG joins the chorus, going to neutral.
Oh my God, that was such a negative piece. 10
they're
times
so
earnings,
testing us.
and yet they see no reason to buy it. I invited Chris on the show last night. He's the new CEO. Chris Ben Stoner and I were saying, listen, how do you can't
just gotta ride it out.
Just invite the guy on to tell the story. Chris, Alex, we're on at 6 p.m. Listen, just try to give him a little
Your evening program.
Giving him an invite. Yes. And it's not an invite to his funeral, it's an invite to tell the story.
Right.
Come on, look at Meta's going. Come on, NQ, stop playing. Do your thing.
When CBS was at 50, she was saying, let's load up the boat. That was a great call. And she is so enamored of Walgreens here.
Bro, they are so playing with fire right now. Like, cut it out.
Tim Wentworth, as I do, CEO, is an amazing money manager, amazing money maker for money managers. So watch Walgreens. And there's so much about what's going on in so many different areas. Healthcare is probably the most in flux I have ever seen it. So many companies need to buy so many other companies. But
yeah, I'm not liking this back and forth that it's doing right now.
A miracle worker, and I'm setting the stand a little high for it now.
If you missed Lisa Gill at JP Morgan with Jim last night, sort of raising the curtain on the healthcare conference next week. Take a listen.
One of the things to think about when you think about pharmacy, it's the highest touch point of anything in healthcare. It's been proven time and time again that if you can keep a patient adherent on the medication, and think about GLP-1s, right? It's all the rage right now.
Come on, Meta's still going. Like 350. Come on.
The stock was up 9 and finished down. All they were saying was, look, we're going to use traditional places, touch places to get GLP-1, but don't use counterfeit, and don't use this if you're just trying to get thin. We don't discourage it. Now, you have a lot of stocks coming in very hot there. Regeneron is at an all-time high, AMD at an all-time high, but those stocks turned out to be very inexpensive. Merck was very in 14 times earnings. So these are companies that I really like because they do not trade at the multiples of enterprise software, which are insane.
Jim, interesting to see, on a morning where people, the thinking was, we got to rethink rates. Names like Pulte are up 1% or better.
They're trying. They're trying to shake us out.
On X.
From Fitch?
Yes.
There we go.
Which
Come
means
on, baby.
that housing will continue to be
Come on.
They're not building as many homes.
I want 500 or 510, and I'll call it a day. It'll be an easy Friday. Like,
this is not
bro.
This is not your grandfather's home builders where they'd be putting them up like
Come
mad.
on. There we go. You see that? You see that? There we go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Up 0.5% up on the day. Come on.
I was surprised. Goldman
Come on. Give it to us.
Ending the year still with a 6. I mean, a low 6. But it's not like that's going to collapse.
No.
In their view.
Remember, mortgage rates are going to stay there, and the price of the house is going to go down a little. Don't look at Manhattan. That is a separate area. You're going to be able to. I think you're going to be able to do well because I think there's going to be a glut of apartments that were all started at the same time. Now, I know I say ignore Manhattan, but anybody who wants to see Venice, the Gowanus. The Gowanus, the number of apartments that are being built.
That was such a
Gowanus,
wonderful
you would
dip by
think
if
you really would.
If I wasn't a quickie and I just took it.
They all start at the same time. And I know that's anecdotal, but believe me, if they're building them around the Gowanus, which, by the way, sometimes is blue, sometimes it's green. Sometimes it's like the river in the movie The Fugitive on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, sometimes it's bubbling. I'm always afraid someone's going to be smoking a cigarette while I walk over the bridge.
Yeah, well, the new supply online is definitely a story in the Southeast.
Stay
as
close to that story. People are not talking about the number of apartments that were started after COVID that are now coming on.
There we
They don't
go.
talk about it
There
because
we
a lot
go.
of them are
Come
these,
on, you
private
host.
developers, but there's going to be a glut of rent, and therefore there will not be that wonder of where you can stay in your rental or get a rental. It'll be very expensive. That drives
Come on.
prices down.
We're going to watch Shelter, especially given CPI on the way.
Oh,
Let's
absolutely.
go.
And look, I know that Jay Powell's not happy that
450 is
housing prices
solid.
are up 35% from 2019, but he can't be happy about the grapefruit stuff. There's some things that don't have anything to do with the Fed
Yeah,
funds
keep it
rate.
going, baby. Keep it going for us.
Planters peanuts.
Can't really.
Anybody else in this long?
No, you can't. Thank you.
Quick reminder, you can always get in on the CNBC Investing Club with Jim. You can sign up and find out more at
Who's long?
cnbc.com/join the club, or just use the QR code on your screen. If it gets out of the way from the tape there, and it takes you right there. As we go to break, watch bonds. We are going to get a little Fed speak today, barking at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Come on,
For
B.
the time being, though, watch the 10-year.
Give me that 510.
Dow's marginally positive. Don't go anywhere.
No, trade jet's good. Showing discipline. I like it. I like it. Probably might just book some profits here. Damn. Ugh. Ugh. Oil looking pretty good too. So let's see. Come on. Do it for us. We got ISM coming out soon. We go. Ooh, NQ. Just beautiful. And today the lagger is the Dow. Dow Jones is the lagger this morning. Yes, sir. Dow Jones not even over yesterday's high. ES looks super strong. 47, 46 coming. Come on. NQ almost at 500. Charting Queen, you see what I told you? Watch out for that short at that 442 area. Baby was looking too strong. Just took a quick short and out. All right, 9 minutes till the report comes out.
Take a look at some S&P laggards for the week to date. Jim mentioned this call on
Nice, okay, yeah, wrong,
do
good.
upgrade Carnival, but caught Norwegian saying they prefer CCL's deleveraging path, valuation, their EBITDA growth upside. risk. We'll watch that. Enphase as well. VF Corp, kind of a mixed bag. With semis in the mix as well. We'll get stop trading with Jim in a minute. And the Dow up 31 points.
Follow. If we get a nice little dip on the 10 a.m. data, I'm gonna add to the long. I'm looking at doing a quick short at 4. I wouldn't recommend it, man. I mean, right now it's really strong. It's like you trying to stop a Mack truck. If you do a small size, okay. I mean, you probably might get maybe 1 to 2 points from it, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, it's looking really strong today. So be cautious with that, but if you do take it, you know, be okay with whatever comes, whether you end up taking a loss or if you make some profits. But yeah, but this is looking hella strong. Like, come on, bruh. Give me this dip at 10. Give me this dip at 10. I want to add. I want to freaking add, man. I should have gone full port. Especially seeing how AMD, Nvidia, Meta, Apple. I mean, Apple's not doing much right now, but definitely AMD, Nvidia, Meta, even Tesla. I mean, Tesla got over.
Let's get to Jim and stop trading.
Yeah, I did make a joke earlier
No,
about a stock
over or
called How I
under?
Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
How
over.
But here's 4 recommendations for it. Now, what people don't know is that this is a $21 billion company that used
So,
to
yeah.
screw the
All
fantasy
good.
business of
All
Alcoa.
good.
And 4 recommendations, the most recommended stock so
Come
far
on.
this year that I've found.
Give me that pull.
Yes, and it is a very good company. It does forgings for aerospace, and it GE's up a lot.
5 minutes
people are
to
saying, well,
go.
this site should
Just
get
sit
both
here
me
and
How I Met
wait.
Your Mother, HWM. All I can say is that Elliott Partners was right.
Come
There
on, bro.
was money within
Bro.
Alcoa if we broke it up, but it was all in this company, Halmet.
Wow. I guess it's sort of a
I
comment.
don't want to add up here. I want to pull back to add. I'm struggling. I somehow don't buy the upside move. Why? I mean, this thing was just massively clear, especially when we had this 1 hour reversal with the massive wick rejection.
Macy's is the one to play. They used to send the Chinese junkets to the U.S. were 10 times what they are now. They need more aircraft. That country is in. I just don't know what's going on in the country, but that was
Oil
the way that
pushing.
a lot of our retailers did well in New York was because of these huge Chinese travel ventures that are now
So close.
They need planes.
So tonight,
Yeah, Russell looks really freaking good.
Let's find out whether Kim Crawford's been good wine.
you're going to do your M&A consulting.
Yes, I am, and I do think. Look, I know Bill knows, like everybody else, that the decline in bourbon and whiskey is really extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. Again, some of it's cannabis, some of it's GLP, but these were the greatest cash cows in the world. Now they're not growing at all. Very interesting.
And I imagine you'll look ahead to, as we said, the busy week we get next.
Oh my! We have so much going on healthcare. Never forget that while all this stuff is going on, that Amgen is doing incredibly
Russell
well.
was a good buy
Regeneron's a very
at the
inexpensive stock.
50s.
These companies
Come on.
became inexpensive. Why? Because of the
3
vaccine.
minutes to
These all
go.
became sources of
Yeah,
funds. And, you know,
that was a buy, but it's
How many interviews are you doing in 2 weeks?
17 interviews.
In over 2 days.
Yeah, last time my wife said, she looks at my schedule. She goes, I can't
okay.
believe
All right. I like that you have a nice plan together.
She said
Been
that
a
you're
level
saying
to
that you went to
level
bed.
market this week unless.
You're gonna
Yep,
be busy,
that's
man.
true.
But
Very, very true.
Thank you, Jim. We'll see you tonight. And of course, Jim will be at JP Healthcare next week. When we come back, NEC Director Lil Brainerd with White House reaction to the jobs number and a lot more as we got the Dow hanging on to some modest gains, 18 points. Don't go anywhere.
Whew. AMD. AMD said, I ain't come to play with you. Excuse me. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go till the economic data. Come on. Mm-mm. 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 Do-do. Do-do. There we go. Get it. Get it. Yes. 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 Come on, baby. Give me 5. We hit 5. We hit 5. Can we get a little bit more? Can we get a little bit more? Come on, you sexy little thing. Come on. Come on. 503. 503. All right, I'm not going to be greedy. Not going to be greedy. Out at 5. Out at 5. And look at ES go. I told you, watch out. You do not want to fight these strengths, bruh. It's like going into the octagon with freaking The Rock and whoever's the current reigning heavy champ. Woo. Beautiful.
S&P 500 up a quarter of 1%.
Beautiful.
NASDAQ up
Beautiful.
0.2%. Dow's rising about 19 points. You are seeing some strength in groups like financials at the top of the list today, up 0.5%. Consumer discretionary, energy, communication services. What's not doing well? Well, more defensive groups like real estate and healthcare at the bottom of the pile. For the week as a whole, though, we're down 3% on the NASDAQ, 1.5% or so on the S&P. Treasuries in
Let's
reaction
go.
to jobs. The gut was to sell treasuries.
And that
pushing
is it,
yields
ladies
higher.
and
We see that
gentlemen.
continuing with the 10-year note yield above 4%. We got there actually after the European CPI numbers, which we'll talk about. But it's backing
Let's
off a little
go.
bit. Look at the 10-year. Just went below 4.
Thank
We're 30
you.
minutes here into the trading session. Here are some movers we're
Thank
watching
you.
right now. Fresh numbers out of the
Thank
year
you.
maker
Look at that.
Constellation Brands,
510,
posting better than
520
expected profit.
coming,
Those
but I'm
sales
all
did
out.
fall
I don't
short.
care. It could go another 50 points. I'm good for the day. Happy Friday, y'all, and it's only 10 o'clock. What?
Berkshire purchased nearly 3 million shares of the voting and tracking stock for about $82 million.
Trap mic. Where's my mic? Where's my mic? I'm gonna be like, ghetto mic. Take a sip of my cup. I told y'all, and look at that. YM is going. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, baby. I mean, fire 15 ESA contract mini. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. Tell them, where else are you gonna get this? Where else are you gonna get this? Huh? Tell them, talk to me nice. Just when it looked like it was bearish, people coming in for the short is like, nah, bro, we going longs today. Ooh, and gold looks good too. Hello. Like, hello, gold. You looking mighty saucy today. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Yes, we are. We send. We close. Ladies and gentlemen, we just murdered this boy.
That's 1/10 worse than our mid-month read, which was down 1/10. Now, let's go to those ISM services. The headline index, 50.6. That is indeed a miss, 50.6. We're looking for a number to be at 52.5. That was expected at 52.7 in the rearview mirror. Prices paid, 57.4, pretty close to expectations. Lower than 58.8.
Still going. Oh, we're going for that 60. We are going for that 60. We are going for that 60. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Weakest since July of 2020. And finally, new orders expected to be around 56. It's a miss, but still in expansion territory at 52.8. So 3 of the 4 are in expansion. We had some disappointments, but the big disappointment seemed to have been December employment read.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Tell them put some respect on my name. I does this. I does this. Oof. 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 Oh. Oh.
As we dip below 4%, we're going to take some of that back to you.
Go on, baby. Go on with the wind. Do your thing.
Thank you, Rick Santelli.
Go.
With the miss there in services, may be important for the market.
Marvelous. Still want to take that short at 47.46? You see?
I think we should talk about it.
Tell me you didn't take that short at 46.
First of all, overall headline was much better than expected. More than 200,000.
Who was saying that we're going to take a short at 47.46?
That was better. It closes out
Ray J. Yeah. So you see? I hope you see you didn't take it. Please tell me you didn't take it. Again, I don't pretend to know everything, but you generally do not want to fight strength. Good. Yeah, you generally do not want to fight strength when it's there. Honestly, your probably best bet is going to be looking to take a short, possibly at 47.66. 47.66, we could possibly look for a short there, but I'm not interested in no shorts today. Probably next week for CPI. But at this current moment, it does look like NQ may come for this 565 area. Beautiful. I got out at 16,500. I'm leaving an additional 40 points on the table, but it's okay. We don't need every single one. We don't need every single tick. Marvelous. Woo. What level would I buy gold? I would look for gold to pull back to 2058. So 2058 would be where I would look to buy gold. or even the 2060. Gone, baby, gone, gone, gone.
It makes you wonder whether this one's going to be downwardly revised too. Also, December is always kind of seasonally and holiday. But you know, we're also seeing real wage growth. We're seeing wages grow above inflation, something we did not see. And that's good. That bodes well for the consumer. It's something that the Fed is definitely going to be paying attention to. I think that on top of the did you see the European inflation numbers overnight? Eurozone, highly anticipated. They were expected to tick up a little bit. We did get that. Headline number goes up to 2.9%. That was a little bit more than expected. Although on the plus side,
Like, I just want you to know you're my favorite girl.
Ooh,
Ooh, straight rocket ship.
and that was a little bit lower than November. So that was
What the fuck?
yeah. So it's still
Are you
above
kidding me?
target, but you know, people are wondering if maybe it
Yo,
was too aggressive to price
that's
in
not what I
190
wanted.
basis points of cuts for the ECB. That's where we were
I
last
wanted to
week.
buy,
Now
bro.
we're down to maybe 140 basis points of cuts. So it matters in that the market is trying to figure out how many cuts we're going to get next year and when those cuts are going to start. Are they going to happen in March?
Look
Those
at the
odds are
Russell
definitely
still
decreasing
going.
after the state.
I mean, Europe's a complicated story. Germany, in particular,
We
retail
have
sales
problems.
fell
We
almost
have
3 times the
liftoff,
estimate, down to
ladies
5.
and
The construction
gentlemen.
PMI there is under 40 for the 4th month in a row. I mean, Germany's got some issues, which of course is not the only thing that's driving ECB bonds.
No, but the economy there is in worse shape, no question about it, than it is here, which is why the market was more aggressive in terms of pricing the cuts for the ECB. But you know, when energy prices go up, then the headline inflation numbers go up, and that's something that the ECB has to pay attention to. You know, for every week number, how about the consumer, the Costco numbers that were reported last night? I saw a big jump in December, both in same-store sales and in overall sales. Big jump over November. And then the only other thing I would highlight is this soundbite from the Royal Caribbean CEO. He was on with Brian Sullivan last night on Last Call's great interview. And I know that cruises are having a moment, but here's how he describes the consumer. It really stuck with me.
Well, I can tell you that the consumer is very healthy. And when we poll our customers and we look at credit card data,
Oh, just a wild freaking morning, ladies and gentlemen.
versus 19 spend.
I just want to
Very
say,
bullish. Let's talk about the economy. The jobs report coming in better than expected. Just to review, U.S. employers added 216,000 jobs in the month of December. Unemployment rate holds at 3.7%. Lael Brainerd, National Economic Council Director and former
go,
Federal Reserve
baby,
Vice Chair,
go,
joins us
go.
now first on CNBC.
Yes,
It's
yes.
great
Keep
to
it
see
going.
you, Director Brainerd.
Do your
Welcome.
thing.
How surprised are you by these strong numbers at this point in the cycle?
Well, I think the data that we saw this morning
mm.
confirms 2023 was a great year for the U.S. economy. The economy entered.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me post some chart. One of my methods that I was using this morning.
We are up 2.7 million jobs over the course of
There's this one, and then here's SPX, aka ES.
Unemployment rate was consistently
Voila.
below 4%
Boom.
throughout the year, and inflation, core inflation, came down close to that pre-pandemic benchmark of 2% over 6 month
Problem.
basis. So that's
Am
a
I
really,
a problem or am I a
very
problem?
economic picture.
And what adds to it is that wage growth
Come
ticked
on,
up for the month
baby.
of December. I mentioned the 4.1% from the 4%. But does that make you a little bit nervous? Because we know the Fed has been trying to target inflation, and wage growth certainly plays into that it's going to be hard to do this last mile down to 2% target.
Well, I think you will find that President Biden will always take a healthy wage growth number. And this is just very good news for American workers. Wages are growing. Their purchasing power is actually up because wages have exceeded on a price-adjusted basis, have grown over the course of the year, over the course of the administration.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
But what does that reflect?
You made the decision not to trade or chase, which was good. Practice discipline. All right. So are y'all happy with the calls? Are y'all happy with the alerts? Let me check my people on YouTube. What are we looking at? What's my people's on YouTube? What's up? What's up?
Picture for American workers, the American economy.
But, you know, financial conditions have loosened a lot over the last month on hopes that the Fed is going to start cutting rates. And it does make you wonder, especially when you've seen mortgage rates drop and the stock market up, whether we're going to have stickier inflation or potentially another flare-up in inflation after all the progress that's been made so far. How do you assess the risk of that?
You know, I think we just got the numbers on the supply chain index.
And gold is really pushing.
Supply chains are actually all the way back down to normal.
I wouldn't want to chase it here.
The biggest drop in supply chain pressures I think that we've ever seen from very, very elevated levels. That is really what's been driving inflation, and that's why you see that core has come into the 2% range much faster than a lot of forecasters expected.
Come on.
So
can we get a pullback to 30? We might get a pullback to 30. That could possibly, you could possibly look to take a long at 16,530 and then look for an overall push to over yesterday's highs. Okay, comes a pullback, and mind you, we're probably also going to see a pretty decent pullback for the London close.
Coming down last month to 2% on a 6-month basis. So that includes and is very focused on services. So even there, we're seeing progress. Housing, as you know, we have new rental numbers that have been coming down. Those haven't fully shown through to average rentals, but of course, we're going to keep focusing on housing affordability, a huge issue for Americans. It's really important to continue working on that.
Well, I wonder what you make of.
I'm going to set a buy on the Forex side. It's like, let me work on a few other accounts too. See if I can get a little something for them. Wow, look at AMD. Look at freaking NVIDIA.
Well, I would say that we are very, very interested in those payroll numbers. They have always told us a great deal about where we are on the economy. But as you say, there are discrepancies with the household survey that we're also very attuned to. And so, you know, every data release, we try to take what signal it might have about the longer term trajectory of the economy, recognizing there are going to be revisions just like there were over the last 2 months. But the general trend, I have to say, again, below 4% unemployment every month for 23 months at a time when inflation has come down into its pre-pandemic benchmark range. Those are the kind of underlying trends that
come down to that 530.
In this data.
Headline today, Maersk, one of the biggest shipping companies in the world, rerouting Red Sea ships for foreseeable future. We've seen container rates spike.
There we go. Come on.
These Houthi Yemen attacks, even with the U.S.-led coalition to try to ensure more security in the region. How
hit 30. Hit 30. Hit 30 for the lovely people.
This is something that our national security team is very engaged on. This is unacceptable. And they are working with a broad coalition of partners
Nice little
and in close
pullback.
contact with shippers on this. Now, as you know, some shippers are diverting. That
Okay, good retrace, good retrace. Good. Still retracing pretty nicely.
The U.S. is somewhat less subject to some of those because we're less reliant on those. You've seen very little effect actually on prices at the moment.
All right. Any questions? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? I will be jumping off at 10:30. Such a nice, beautiful trading day.
So in terms of American pocketbook issues, we are still seeing very good progress on
Be
gas
like,
prices.
do you have
We're
any
actually
questions
seeing,
for
progress
me?
at the grocery store as well. These are things that really matter to Americans.
Right. So I know you must be frustrated along with the administration that the president and the administration doesn't get credit for the strong jobs market that we've seen, the fall in inflation rate that we've seen in gas prices. We continue to see these polls and sentiment indicators that President Biden doesn't get credit. And I think it's because, in part, the administration gets the blame for helping spark the inflation problem that we're dealing with. Why shouldn't people blame President Biden for that?
So I think if you look at the economy that the president inherited, the incredible supply shocks that we have had to navigate through, starting with the pandemic, continuing on with oil and gas prices. I mean, the president's done an incredible job of addressing supply chains. Again, this morning we saw supply chain pressures are all the way back down to pre-pandemic. They were at a record high during these supply shocks that he has taken policies to address. And if you look at inflation, inflation follows that supply chain index almost one for one with a few month lag. So really, all the work that's been done, trucking, shipping, infrastructure investments, chips investments. We just announced the second chips investment a few days ago, and the private sector's making
Looking for a dip buy. Yeah, 500 would be a nice dip buy area if it can get there. I'm not sure it will, at least maybe not yet. Probably maybe closer to the afternoon. Exit short from 5.6 to 3. We'll follow the trend now. Okay, nice.
We're going to get CPI numbers next week, Carl, which is exciting, along with some of the big bank earnings. Interesting to note this turnaround. Post services coming in weak, ISM services, more buying of treasuries, and the dollar went weaker.
Yeah, CPI and PPI, some argue really all that matters at this point. We'll get it on Thursday.
No, Russell looks really good. Russell looks so good.
Down more than 5% to begin the year. Microsoft closing the
Look
gap
at
as
the
the most
Russell.
valuable company. Which is the better stock to own right now? We'll talk about it.
Plus, a number of new bull calls in the energy space, as well as some Dow stocks. We'll break all the new calls down for you.
And Bitcoin pushing a bit higher this week as the deadline approaches for the SEC's decision on this Bitcoin ETF. What's at stake for crypto investors and the big ETF providers as Squawk on the Street continues after this.
Okay, pull back for baby. go. There we go. There we go. All right, all right. Let's hope we get that dip by, man. That'll be awesome. I'll be jumping off at 10:30, guys. I'm not. It's Friday. It's been a very awesome week. One losing day, which is not bad overall. Killed it this week. Let's see. What's a good number for the NQ to jump back in? For NQ, anywhere between 16,500 and 16,510 is going to be a good area to start scaling in. If you wanna wait for like maybe 16 480 maybe like 490, so anywhere in that region is going to be a pretty good buy. So exited the short. Any suggestions for on Forex today? I mean, on the Forex side today, nah. Everything ran. I mean, look at what what is it? GBP USD did. Euro USD did as well. I mean, I could run through a few. Let me take a look. Let's go to 30-minute. Let's see. Give me a sec. All right. Let's go. Look it. All right. Hope you got long on ES on that pullback. So I'm looking at GBP USD up on the day, Euro USD up. So you kind of already missed the move. You might want to take a look at GBP JPY potential short. Looking at about a 60 pip movement to the downside. So that would be the equivalence of like 60 cents or of like 60 points movement on NQ. Then we have gold just ripping the face off of shorts. USD JPY is dropping, so that means JPY is the stronger pair. Obviously, you see that the market is moving up, so the dollar is weaker, as I've mentioned to you guys. GBP AUD not really doing anything. Euro JPY is going down, so take a look at Euro JPY for a potential short. So right now it seems that JPY is extremely strong. USD CAD is moving lower. Again, the dollar is weaker today because look at the move we have on the market, right? Whenever the stock market is moving up, that means the dollar is weaker. So when it comes to the Forex pairs, anything that is the dollar versus or it's this currency and the dollar is on the right hand side should be going up. If the dollar is first and there's another currency to the right of it, that means it's going to go down as the dollar is weaker. Make sense? So USD CAD, AUD JPY, a little pullback. CAD JPY, yeah, so JPY is really strong today. GBP CAD is moving higher, but yeah, not something that I'm gonna touch with. Let's go. Look, who did bought ES? Did you buy ES? Come on, tell me now or forever hold your peace. Okay, bro. I am up on 3 accounts. Woo! Smack this one.
Starting from iPhone iOS 17, and over time, I think, especially for this year in June by WWDC, we'll likely to see more enhanced AI functions that enhance photos, and then there are journal and personal note-taking functions that will be assisted by large language models.
We're gonna get that high. We're gonna get that higher today. Come on. You know you want 65, baby. You know you want 65. Don't play with us. Like, need some tunes, man. Hold on. Let me put some tunes, cause we can't be out here like this. What's gonna be a good song today? Yeah.
Slide on the pimp gang with my pinky ring. Lot of gang, lot of pictures in the icy chain. Why you claim that you rich, that's a false claim. I be straight to the whip, no baggage claim. Whole lot of styles, can't even pronounce the name. You ain't got no style, see you on my Instagram. I be rocking it like it's fresh out the pen. Only when I'm taking pics, I'm the middleman. Walk talking like a boss, I just lift a hand. 3 million cash, call me Rain Man. Money like a shower, that's my rain dance. Get me all in black, like it's gangland. Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why me stick to your bitch like a spray tan? Mister, what kind of car you in? In the city, know my name, nigga, I ain't gotta say it. She can get a taste. She can get a taste. Fuck what a nigga say. It's all the same like Mary Kate. She can get a taste. Let you get a taste. Do you love the taste? Yeah, that's cool, but he ain't like me. A lot of girls like me, niggas wanna fight me. Nigga, get your ass checked like a fucking Nike. Me not icy, that's unlikely.
Stop
She gon'
quick
suck
walking up in
me
here.
like a fucking high C. Chains on the neck for the whole team. And I feel like Gucci with the ice cream. And my bitch want the Fenty, not the Maybelline. I'm the black JB, the way these bitches scream. Make this bitch scream. Pretty little thing.
Oh shit. No offense to the women in the stream.
Yeah, that I mean. She can get a taste. She can get a taste. Fuck what a nigga say.
What I will say to this, if you are scared to take a trade, go a small size, right? Take a small size position, whether short or long, and just test it out. You do that and you will build the confidence to be able to take more sizable trades, right? Because then you're building that muscle memory. It's like, okay, I've seen this before. This is what happened. Now, it's not guaranteed that it's always going to happen, but shoot your shot. And if you don't want to risk too much, you could do a 50-cent lot. You could do a 25-cent lot. You could do a 10-cent lot. A 10-cent lot, every 10 pip movement is $10, right? Now, the dollar return might not be, to your liking, but at least you caught, 10 pips, 20 pips, 50 pips, 60 pips, right? So then okay, well, I've been doing this consistently with a 10-cent lot, and I've been consistently making $50 to $60 a day. Well, if I flip it to a one lot, I'm going to be making $500 to $600 a day, right? Start off small and build. This is a marathon and not a sprint. Can't stress that enough. Ooh, go. Back to my tunes.
It's all the same like Mary Kate. Get a taste. Let you get a taste. Do you love the taste? Yeah, that's cool.
But she ain't like me.
Yeah, I'ma put the drip on the plate. Yeah, I'm an ice glaze, niggas imitate. Hey, feed me grapes, maybe with the Drake. Slow pace in the rave, got this shit from base. Diamonds at the bar, you pick it hitting hard. Robert sitting hard, I'm at it on Mars. Shotgun shells, we gon' always hit the tar. Popcorn, bitch, shell popping out the car. 34, putting outside, drop. Oh, hey, but rock. Make her get on top of me and rob me like a heart. She wanna keep me company and never want to part. Yeah. Bitch tail in the parking lot. I don't kick it with these niggas cause they talk about you. Yeah, and I got the fight, don't make me smoke it out. Yeah, keep it in my back pocket like it's a wallet. Like the way she suck it like a jelly. Stuck it up and put it with the whole project. She got that paddock on water moccasins. I'm rich in real life, I get that profit copy.
Any last minute questions, ladies and gentlemen, before I jump off? If no questions, let me check on YouTube. Make sure. What's up? Oh, snap. We got a whole bunch. That looks crazy. Shall I invest $10 million in NASDAQ calls? No, you do not want to invest $10 million on NASDAQ calls. I mean, maybe early this morning, if you were in at 8:30, the red candle increase. Up to the moon? No, 1 million bucks. Okay. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Okay. Come on. She gone. She gone. If you want to put them from Germany, yeah, you may want to wait till next week. See what the market does at CPI. So we have CPI next week. So we could get a nice flush. So I would not recommend holding the NASDAQ too long if until after CPI. So after CPI, we can then possibly, you know, look to see what type of long-term plays we want to take. So with that being said, thank you for joining. Awesome morning. Wonderful long on NQ. ES, everything just popped. I mean, look at the tech sectors. I called it early morning. Tech sectors were looking bullish. You literally today could have just picked anything across the board from ES, NQ, AMD, Nvidia, Meta, Tesla. Any one of these you took along, you would have played out today. So thank you again for joining. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, Sunday at 11 a.m. in chat, I will be posting the Zoom link to do a weekly review of charts to find potential plays for the upcoming week. All right, that is on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. For my people on YouTube, unfortunately, you guys won't be able to participate in this. Next time, possibly. So thank you again for joining. And as far as my streams, it's every Monday through Friday. I start streaming at 9 a.m. Eastern. Occasionally, I'll do 8:30, but more often than not, I'm on at 9 a.m. Eastern till about 11. Today is Friday. I don't want to overtrade. I'm up 3 accounts. No need to be here any longer. So thank you. Enjoy.